It is Tara, and right now I've got Geno in the studio with me. It's time to talk movies. Hi, Geno. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
All right. Well, February is Black History Month, and so what we decided to do was talk a little bit about some of the movies that highlight Black history that people might want to check out in the month of February. You know, I think that one of the most important things that we can do as Americans is, of course, be familiar with, history, because history doesn't tend to repeat itself if you know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of those movies. You want me to start, or you want to go first?
You go right ahead.
All right. I will say that two of my favorite movies that highlight people in Black history are The Help. That kind of addressed an issue. It was when, African Americans were using separate bathrooms, and there was just a lot of mistreatment, and it was a really good book that kind of brought that to light. For somebody who never experienced it, because I was born after most of that had gone by the wayside, and it was based on a book by Catherine Stockett. It was a really good movie. Emma Stone was in it, Viola Davis, and several others. And I don't know, it's a great one to rent if you get the opportunity. The other I would say that I absolutely loved was Ray, and it was based on the life of Ray Charles. And Jamie Foxx played Ray Charles. And I have to tell you, Jamie Foxx is an amazing, amazing performer. I wish I got to see Jamie Foxx in more serious roles, because his talent is off the hook. I mean, he's just crazy good, and was excellent in this role.
Well, for me, when I think of Black History Month, the movies that really stand out to me, I don't know why, are the sports and the war movies. Mm-hmm. For sports, the two that really stand out for me are kind of based on the same story. First one is 42 from 2013, and it's the most recent movie about Jackie Robinson. And that being said, the one that really stands out to me is called Soul of the Game. It was made for TV movie from 1996, and I remember watching it. And it's not just about Jackie Robinson, but also about Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson. So you get kind of more of a spectrum, not just the one player. Mm-hmm. And they talk a lot about the Negro League baseball and everything.
Yeah.
And if you really want to see that one, you can't find it on DVD very often. But luckily, if you look not so hard on YouTube, it's actually there.
Awesome. Well, who doesn't love a free movie on YouTube?
Yeah, it's not too shabby.
Okay.
And when it comes to war, the two that really stand out to me, first one is Glory from 1989. Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman, Andre Braugher, three actors who I really love are in this. Mm-hmm. It's about the first military units in the Civil War that were all African American, and it's about the 54th charge on Fort Wagner, which they weren't able to take the fort, but it actually inspired a lot of African Americans to join the fight. Yeah. And then, of course, that probably helped lead to the North beating the South. And the other movie that stands out for me is 1995's made-for-TV movie. Let's see if I can say this right. The Tuskegee Airmen. Hey, I got it.
Yes, you did.
It was on HBO, and it's about the African-American fighter pilots in World War II. They dealt with a lot of prejudice and harassments until they were able to prove themselves in battle. And again, if you really want to see this one, search Not So Hard on YouTube, and you can find it too.
All right. Fantastic. I think these are a lot of great suggestions, places people can start. One of the big things is that, I sometimes hear people, kind of poo-poo the fact that there is a Black History Month, and they say, well, I don't know why we have to have separate, it's history. It's just history. But the fact of the matter is there was so much mistreatment and such a checkered past in terms of our nation and worldwide as far as treatment of African Americans. I think it's really good that they take art and movies and they tell stories about that so that people can see with their own eyes, hey, I wasn't around when it was like that, but this really happened, and this is something we all need to know about. So I think it's a fantastic idea for people to take some time out and check out these films during Black History Month.
Well, movies like Hidden Figures that just came out, for example, proves that there's stories that we may not even know. It's like, you've got this whole group of people that are helping accomplish something great, and because history don't like them, their story isn't getting told. And it's nice to know that some of this stuff is finally getting out there, that we're actually starting to learn that, even though these people in the past were looked on as different or not as good, they're still they're people, and they're amazing people, and
Yeah.
they're still a part of history, whether or not certain people want to remember it that way or not.
Exactly. Such a great thing. So take some time, check out these movies either at the movie store or, like Geno said, a couple of them you might be able to find on YouTube. And, of course, join us again next week as Geno will be here in the studio giving us some movie suggestions. Geno, as always, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You can also check out Geno on his YouTube page. Just go to YouTube and search for REELGENO, The Real Geno. Thanks for listening.